The pyramids of Giza, they are some of the most well-known tombs in the world. But most people don't know who built them or who was buried in these tombs. These tombs are empty now. They were looted long ago. But there's a tomb in Jerusalem, a very nondescript tomb, actually a cave, underneath a church now in Jerusalem called the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And most modern people today know the name that was buried in that tomb. But why should they know that name and not the names that were buried in these more grandiose tombs? Because the man who was buried in the tomb in Jerusalem rose from the dead. In fact, Jesus of Nazareth is the most influential human being in history. How could he be so? Unless he really did rise from the dead. Now, while these pyramids point to heaven, in fact, the people in these pyramids thought they could get to heaven partially by being buried in a certain way in these tombs. These point to heaven, but only Jesus can take you there because he rose from the dead. He conquered the grave, and he proved therefore that he was God. And he said the way to salvation is not trying to do all sorts of good works or build these grandiose buildings or tombs. The way to get to heaven was to trust in him because he lived the perfect life in our place. So by trusting in him, you can not only be forgiven, but given his righteousness. And then he proved it by rising from the dead. So if you're looking for eternity, don't look to pyramids, look to Jesus who conquered eternity.